everyone, it's Kay. It is October 2nd and I am actually doing this video outside today. Those are not my chickens, by the way. So today's Preptober assignment was pretty fun. I did most of it in the morning. It was all the different personality tests to determine what your character was. So I did Myers-Briggs, I did Harry Potter Hogwarts houses, I picked astrological signs, and finally I did a new one. It was called the Enneagram, like the Enneagram coach. I'll be honest, by the time I got to that one, I was pretty brain fried. So I started off having lots of notes for different things, and by then I was just like, here's what they are and here's the main things about them. So I'll give you a breakdown about each. I think my biggest concern was taking each of them separately, like the test for Raya and the test for Cole, and not having it be too much of my own answers. I feel like sometimes my female characters unintentionally end up being a lot like me, but I was a little surprised about Cole's responses, so I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. So the first one were the Myers-Briggs tests, and I did this for work a couple years ago, and I believe I am an INFT. It's all the, touchy-feely, quiet kind of stuff. Like, I know that I probably seem like I'm extroverted, but I'm definitely more of an introverted extrovert. Like, I like being home, and I don't have a bajillion friends, but I have a few good core ones. So I kind of laughed because for this one, Raya was an ENFP, which is pretty much what I am, except she has the extroverted trait. When I got the more detailed readout about her, I thought it really applied. I guess each personality type has a special name, and she is the campaigner. And again, without giving her whole entire life story away, she really is somebody who is social and outgoing and has like an empathetic feeling for people's emotions and needs. She's also very creative and imaginative, which I think comes into play while she is in the beginning of the story and in later books as well. Her strengths are that she's curious, perceptive, enthusiastic, she's a good communicator, and she's good-natured. And I think the biggest weakness, I feel like a big star next to it, is that she's overly optimistic. And again, we're going to be getting into more with that as we go on, but I think she's always like, if I just don't think about this, everything's going to be fine. Or if I keep, just trying my best, everything's going to work out. And unfortunately, that's not always the case. Cole was an INFJ, so really he was kind of like me too, except he's a little more judgmental than I am. He got the advocate, which I think, again, later is going to be really, really obvious. He stands up for what is right for others. He wants to change the world, based on what people had done to him, or had judged him, kind of made him want to do things a certain way. And apparently it's the rarest personality type, which I did not know. And his strengths are he's creative, insightful, principled, which I, again, could see, passionate, and he is all about the greater good. One of the weaknesses is that this advocate cares so much about other people that they kind of let their own well-being go to the wayside, and I think that really applies too. For the Harry Potter houses, I used the BuzzFeed quiz that gave your house percentages, and Raya is a Hufflepuff, and I kind of roll my eyes because that's also what I always get. I'm 32, and I should be over that, but I'm still very, very bitter that I am a Hufflepuff. It does make sense, though, with her, empathy and loyalty and that sort of thing to other people. Cole got Ravenclaw, which I wasn't really sure. He almost got Gryffindor, too. It was like 33% Ravenclaw and 30% Gryffindor, because I felt like he had characteristics for a bunch of those. The whole courageous, doing things that are right, but also he's really, really smart, so that also worked. He wanted me to do birthdays and astrological signs, and that was a little hard for me because I am gonna drop a spoiler right now, but Cole and Raya aren't from Earth. So I still decided to give them ones based on the time of year that they were, in Raya's case, born, and Cole was found. Because remember, as I said in a previous video, Cole is an orphan. I had Raya's birthday be October 20th, as in the beginning of the story, it's the summer when she's found and she's still 18 and then turns 19 later. That makes her a Libra. Again, I kind of picked that date out of a hat, and I was really surprised that it kind of went along with what her Myers-Briggs results were, that she's sociable, that she has this, that she works best in a situation where there's lots of people around to hear her, think about certain ideas, and that she's very faithful, probably to a fault. I had that Cole was found in April 5th, and that made him an Aries, and I actually really wanted him to be an Aries. Aries obviously is associated with like fire and the god of war, and he's not like aggressive really, but there is that high sense of duty. There's that, he's hardworking, but on the other hand, some of those flaws are that he can be a little jealous, but multiple things said that Cole is very passionate, if you catch my drift. The final personality test that I did was the Enneagram one, and by the time I got to this one, I was pretty much done. So I didn't write a whole big thing about it. I just kind of wrote what it was and then like the key adjectives to describe it. Raya was the entertaining optimist. Again, always up for a good time, likes fun situations and activities, and I think because of who she really is that we don't know in the beginning of the first book, it makes sense. Cole was the moral perfectionist, which again I think goes back to that sense of right and wrong. He wants things to be ethical for everyone. Overall, I had a really lot of fun with this day, and I feel like it solidified what I already knew about my characters and kind of helped me, get a better sense of some of those personality types or personality traits that I wanted them to have, because this whole week will be all about character. I'll be getting more into Cole and Raya's personality traits in more detail now that I have this information in a later day. So that's it for me for day 2. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Bye.